The last lesson is set in the days of the Franco-Prussian War or Franco-German War. The war, lasting from 19 July 1870 to 10 May 1871, resulted in the victory of Germany and the fall of the Second French Empire. Most of Alsace and parts of Lorraine were annexed by Germany, and the freedom to learn the French language was taken away from the people of these two districts. Franz was a young boy. One morning he was late for school. The teacher had asked the pupils to come prepared with participles. But Franz had not learned the lesson, and he was sure that the teacher, M. Hamel, would be angry. He was also afraid of the teacher's ruler. It was quite a fine day. For once, Franz was tempted to play and enjoy himself in the open fields. But he could not dare to do so and ran towards the school. On the way, while he was passing by the town hall, he saw a crowd of people in front of the bulletin board. This bulletin board had brought Alsace all the bad news over the past 2 years. Franz presumed that there must be some other bad news, but he did not stop to inquire and rushed on. The blacksmith who had read the news on the bulletin told Franz not to hurry. He said that here was plenty of time. But Franz did not slow down. He thought that the blacksmith was just poking fun at him. Franz wanted to reach his desk unnoticed. He hoped there would be noise and commotion as usual. He depended on this noise and bustle to reach his desk unnoticed. But as soon as he reached there, he was surprised. Instead, he found the school unusually quiet. Students were sitting quietly in their respective seats. M. Hamel was not rapping his ruler on the table. He was simply moving up and down the room with his ruler under his arm. He looked serious and quiet. There was no chance for Franz to enter the room unseen. Finally, he had to open the door and enter before everybody. Unexpectedly, M. Hamel did not rebuke him. Instead, he spoke kindly to him and told him to go to his desk. When Franz had settled down, he looked at M. Hamel. There was another surprise for him. M. Hamel had put on his beautiful green coat, his frilled shirt and his embroidered black silk cap. He wore these clothes only on special occasion. But it was no special day, and Franz could not understand why M. Hamel had worn his Sunday clothes. There was still another surprise in store for Franz. The back benches of the class were usually empty, but that day they were occupied by some village people. The former mayor, the former postmaster, old Hauser with his three-cornered hat, and some other village people were found sitting on those rear benches. M. Hamel climbed up his chair and spoke to his pupils in a gentle and serious tone. He told them that an order had come from Berlin. French would not be taught anymore. Instead, German was going to be taught, and the new teacher was expected to arrive the following day. As such, they were going to have their last lesson in French that day. Now Franz understood what order there was on the bulletin board, and why the blacksmith had told him not to hurry. He now understood why M. Hamel had put on his best clothes. As Franz got this news, he felt truly sorry. He was lost in his own thoughts. Actually, he had hardly learned to read and write, and now he would have to stop forever. He was sorry to have wasted his time. He had always been enjoying himself outdoors and had hated his books. He had always dreaded M. Hamel and his iron ruler. But his attitude suddenly changed. He felt his books were good companions. He did not mind M. Hamel's ruler and his rebukes. Now, he also understood why the people of the village were there. They were also sorry that they had not been to school at any time. Now they had come to thank the teacher for his faithful service. M. Hamel asked Franz to recite the rule for the participle. Franz wished he could say the rule. But he failed miserably. M. Hamel did not scold Franz. He said that Franz was not the only person to blame. The people of Alsace had never been interested in learning. They were in the habit of putting everything off till tomorrow. Franz's parents wanted him to earn some money instead of going to school. He said they were strange Frenchmen who could not write or read their own language. He blamed himself also. He said sometimes he gave the students a days off whenever he wanted to go fishing. Hamel then praised his mother tongue. He said French was the most beautiful, the most logical and the clearest language in the world. He urged the people to stick to it. He assured them that if they held fast to their language, they would be able to get rid of the Prussian rulers. Their language was a key to their freedom from slavery. It was Hamel's last day at the school. But Hamel had the courage and devotion to do his teaching work as usual. He taught grammar, gave writing exercises and asked little children to trace their fish hooks. Franz listened to his lesson attentively. He felt Hamel had never explained the lesson as clearly as he did that day. It appeared to him that as if he wanted to give his pupils all that he had to give. The church clock struck 12. It was time for the school to close. Hamel wanted to say something, but he was overcome with emotion. He wrote, "Vive la France! Long live France," on the blackboard, and with a wave of his hand, he dismissed the school.